What is up, everybody? Who all we got in here? Just doing a quick look. Auto Salvage Outlaws, Busted Radio. He does a lot of Busted Radio. Does a lot of giveaways. Do you
He
ever
does a
hear
lot of
shit?
cool stuff. He's got a lot
NSB
of
is
cool
in
stuff.
here. Mohawk, Jason. What's up, Jason? JB's Little Shop, and Jeffro, Two Hacks. What's up, brother?
Oh, just another day in the world, man.
Oh, I was taking a nap. Hell, you had to wake me up. Then we
I
had
did. It's
a little
been a
audio.
long day.
Oh man, I drove a couple hours and the guy I went to go see wasn't there. Oh well, I rolled the dice. So I'm trying out this new thing where I'm doing these interviews. I had one with Shane. Professor P had a little snafu last weekend. Guest couldn't show up. What I'm kind of wanting to do is do a lot of talking no name nationals. So how is everything going with you and your car? I see. What is the name of your car again?
I just call it Rowdy.
Rowdy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. So, give me a little background on that car.
68 Ford Thunderbird. It was my uncle's car, and he had passed away. My dad and I had the car, and it sat for a very long time. I was heavily involved in cars and drag racing and muscle car restorations for years, and got out of it basically because of kids. Sold everything off. I had a massive collection of vintage drag racing memorabilia and all that fun dealership stuff, but drug this thing out and originally was just going to mechanically make it sound and build like a Cobra Jet engine for it. And then I was on a live one night because I got back into cars and heard about the No Name Nationals, and basically it was like, plans change, and decided to build this car. And it's 521 cubic inches, tunnel ram, Howard's cam, aluminum heads, TCI transmission, 4500 stall, 430 gears, QA1, and Spawn performance suspension. It's pretty rowdy. It was factory. Weight was like 4,372 pounds, but it's like 3,900 now.
Yeah.
As you guys know, like a week and a half before No Name Nationals last year, I decided to have third gear let go in this thing. But that's all fixed. I've done a lot of upgrades on it, and actually today was the first day I had it all together the way I want it and took it out driving it. So other than relocating the battery in the trunk and doing some tuning, it's ready to go, man.
Oh, okay. You haven't relocated the battery yet?
No, I just got everything in to do that, so it's going to go in the trunk.
That's not that bad.
No.
So she's a little on the heavy side, but it's probably What do you think? You got any ideas on what kind of time it's going to run?
I have some ideas what it's going to run. NSB is going to be a fun race. I have some call. I'm actually going to make a call out video soon. NSB.
Which one of them are you racing?
I'm going to race the Super B, and that's going to be one of those, birds and the bee type race. I'm going to make something funny on that. I'm going to race Mark from Bigfoots and Mopars and the Jack Pine Savage. I'm going to race the Backwoods Performance Mr. Norm car, and there's a video going to be made on people I want to race, and it's just for fun. I don't care if I win or lose.
To do this stuff.
I did go out. I did put a set of new polished slots on it with some new drag radials and Hoosier front tires, and made a short of that. It's actually pretty good. In fact, I don't know, Brian, is it possible that you can actually play? I'm an idiot when it comes to some of this tech stuff.
All right, here's the thing. Hit see down at the bottom down there where it says present.
Yeah.
Bring up a window with whatever you want to show.
In StreamYard? Okay.
Yeah. Just bring it up like on your computer anywhere.
Okay.
And then you hit present. And then they give you a list of different stuff. I think it's going to be, there you go.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I'll bring it up here in just a second. Yeah, start it over for us.
Okay. I was out
Yeah,
just messing around. I don't know if the audio will play. Hopefully it does.
yeah, I heard it.
Still no traction, but it's better than what it was.
Now you do better on a track.
Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. I like
Yeah.
that.
That was a brand new set, literally a brand new set of drag radials. Hoosiers.
Yeah, those. Anytime I've ever had those on the street, you could. They need a little bit of bite. They're not a good
Yeah.
no prep tire.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm ready for the No Name Nationals. It's going to be fun. You know, had a blast last year, even not be able to race. I'm going to bring his little monkey bike to ride around, and I'll race that on the track just for fun. Like I said, I'm going to run a lot of call out stuff and, just go out
I'm
and have a whole
kind
lot of
of
fun.
I'm kind of worried about racing too much because I had a lot of fun last year just hanging out,
Yes.
And I don't. I'm almost worried about. I'm like, do I really want to spend all this time sitting in the staging lanes, worrying
Right.
about the car? It's like I'm gonna spend most of my time just having fun and hanging out.
Right.
I'll race. I ain't scared to race, but and anybody, I've got a call out or two, but still, I'm going to be spending most of my time just hanging out because
Yes.
that's just a hell of a fun event.
It's gonna be a really awesome year, just for the fact is everyone really knows each other, now, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
How's your knuckle duster?
It's coming together. Hopefully, well, not hopefully. Tomorrow the windshield's going in it. Tomorrow windshield's
Yes.
going in it. Then I got to start messing with the rear end. I got to get the rear end out of it. Get the brakes put on it. I'm going to take the rear end out. I'm going to get the brakes put on it. I'm going to cut the perches off because my pinion angle is like this right now. It's like
Oh,
up. So I'm gonna have to. I've got new purchase for it, so I can get it down right where it's supposed to be and just weld them in. So
nice.
probably be in and out 2 times, but it ain't that hard.
Yep.
But while I have it out, I'm gonna do all the brakes and everything while it's out. Have it all done before I put it back in. Paint it up, have it look nice. I'm gonna reseal the pumpkin again.
That's gonna be a fun car. That's gonna be a really
I hope
fun car.
so. I hope so. I really do. I'm not. I don't think it'll be very fast, but I have no clue. We're just going to find out. Hopefully, I have some. Hopefully, I get it done fast enough to have maybe at least one weekend to go out and test it a little bit. But
Oh, I know.
if I
Oh, I
don't,
know.
I don't.
Well, see, that's just it, Brian. I'm gonna be going on vacation later on this week, and I'm gonna be gone for a while. And when I get back, I'm gonna go to the track, and I'm gonna go to Central Illinois Dragway in Havana. It's a real nice 8th mile track, literally out in the middle of nowhere. So I'm gonna go. I'm
Just
looking at a
been
couple
yet.
of dates. I have not. I've been there watching, but I'm gonna go and really just roll the coals to it. See what'll happen.
Yeah, I've never been up there. I'm in a good spot for racetracks.
Yes.
It's like I've got. Well, if you start up there, I've got Havana up there. Closest to me is Gateway. That's like
Yes.
10 minutes away from where I'm at right now. Then, like me and Dennis went down to Benton, which is a really nice track.
That's a cool place. I've been there in
Yeah,
years.
and then on the other side of the river, there's an outlaw track down in Bonne Terre, Missouri, which I like going to. The thing I don't like is they don't do any tech of any kind. It's like
Huh.
you just wear a helmet and you run. But it's a pretty wicked little place. It's a good place to test at. And then
See, I want to go
then
to
I've got
George Ray's
Sykes.
one day.
Where's that at?
Arkansas. I've been there to watch years ago, but I
Oh,
really,
that's
really
that
want to
super
go.
outlaw track, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'd want to go check that out. But yeah, hey, let me know. Give me a call or whatever whenever you're going up to Havana, because
Definitely.
I know Twisted Mopar Dennis has been wanting to go up there. Maybe we could all meet up and hang out up there.
Let's do it. It'll be there's um there's a couple dates I'm looking at, Brian. I'll send you. I don't know them offhand, but there's like a
Okay.
Friday night test and tune, but then there's also a big nostalgia event. I think both of them would be fun. The nostalgia event is early September. I might hit both of them. So
Well, I know there's going to be a in August down here at Gateway. There's a race. I'm pretty sure it's Friday and Saturday, and the Straight Axle Mafia from
nice.
Tennessee are going to be there, and Tall John's going to be in town. I don't know if
That'll be a good.
you've ever talked to Tall John or met him or anything. He's
I've
pretty
talked to
cool.
him quite a bit.
He's a pretty cool guy. Yeah, he'll be in town down here. That's in August.
That'd be
Hell,
fun.
you ought to come down for it.
I could
Get to
probably
hang
do
out with
that. I
Tall
mean,
John. What are you?
um,
Now you're not. Are you 2 hours away from me?
I am. Yeah, I'm like 2 hours away because I'm right in the middle of Illinois. Legitimately right in the middle of the state.
Yeah.
Pretty much where 55, 74, 39, 51 all come together.
You're up there by Springfield.
I'm an hour north of Springfield.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. Because I know Dennis. I can't remember the name of the town Dennis lives in, but he's about an hour from me.
Okay. And he's in
North.
Springfield?
Yeah, I think it's Raymond.
Okay. Yeah, I know that
Raymond.
area.
Raymond or Ramsey, one of the two. I had a friend that lived in one, and I had friends that lived in both, and one of them moved. Usually Dennis is in here. I thought I saw him. There he is. Oh, okay. He said he's here now.
I tell you one person I am going to call out for fun. This is I don't know if he's on here or not, and I talk to him about it every day, and I think he does just absolutely amazing work with everything he does. I want to race John Cope.
Yeah, I want
He's
to
a
go up
great
and
guy.
see him. I want to go up and see him.
He's a really good guy. So I want to run against him. But like the people I really want to race against, some of them might not be fair. Like I want to race Patrick in that crazy duster, but I think I'll get beat. I don't give a shit. I want to
Yeah.
race Lee in the Super B, just so I can hurt his feelings. Just
Hmm.
kidding.
That's the
Just
same
kidding.
reason I want to race him too.
Yes, but I want to race uh, Mark Bigfoot Mopar and the Jack Pine Savage because I think that's just an absolutely gorgeous car, and he's a super nice guy, and I think everything he does is top notch, and it'd be a really really fun. I'll race anybody. Frankly, I don't give a shit. I'll just race. I'll race everybody. As long as I'm not breaking crap and all that. But I'm ready to. I'm just ready to race and have a good time. Go to Lambert's, throw some rolls.
Oh
You know,
man, that was so much fun last year at
it
Lambert's. Oh,
was. It was a blast. Absolutely a blast.
I hope Bopar Al shows up again this year. He said you see his video where he said he was having some health issues,
Yeah, he ended up having like pneumonia and had like got
an
an
infection and
infection. 6 days in the hospital, and I know there's a lot of people bringing some really awesome one-off stuff too, like Jason's garage with an LS powered truck, Ken with his
Yeah,
stuff. They're just good. I mean, Dr. Art's Ford Ranger
yeah,
is
that's gonna be
fast.
fun.
I talked to him, quite a bit too, and that thing is just that one is going to hurt some feelings.
Well, I know. Ken has that LS Ranger too.
Yeah, and he's been
Tall
making some
Garage.
headway. Yeah.
I think he's talking about bringing that out. He was out there last year. We hung out with him for a while.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah, I got to talk to him a little bit, and he is tall, so the name is fitting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of like you though, Brian. I'm more interested in watching and hanging out.
Yeah,
There's
just
going to be some good races.
meeting everybody you haven't seen in a year, except for through a video screen.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. JB says he's going for the slowest time. I actually won that last year, JB, on a mini bike. So, you know,
I could have gone out and walked the track. I think I did walk the track at least once last year, so I may actually have the
Yeah.
closed time.
So it's going to be fun.
Oh
A lot of
yeah,
a lot of new faces coming along, to this. Like there's a guy that's got a hot rod flat black GTO or Le Mans, Dark Hollow Skips Dark Hollow Garage, I think it's called.
I haven't seen that one.
He's
See,
actually,
I can't keep
he,
up with
he-
all of them.
it's actually really cool, and just all the new names is going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
What I'd really like to do, what I'm wanting to really try to do is, I can go to John Wilburn's and get a list of all the new guys and where they're at, and
Yes,
I want to do like a little marathon live, like 12 hours, and
that
just
would be cool.
have people like you come on, and they've got a new feature where you can like, if I had it turned on, I'm probably gonna turn it on later, but
I
where
saw
you
you
can
do that.
actually, yeah, where it'll actually show up on your channel. Are you gonna hang out with us a little bit after the interview, or you got something going on, or
I'll probably come back in. I'm just
okay?
waiting for my son to get home. But I saw that. But the only goofy thing is, and you nailed it, was you can't comment to everybody. You're only seeing whose comments if you're on that channel.
Yeah, yeah, that's the only bad thing. But I think it would be good for people, like if I do this live, like saying, just say, hey, Jeff, I'm doing this live from noon to midnight. If you want to pop in for an hour and throw it up on your channel, and we get the word out on these guys to
Yeah.
all your, or at least as many. I'm going to try to reach as many people as we can. I don't even really. I won't even, when everybody's sharing them out there. I don't get the watch time hours or anything from when somebody else shares their screen. I
Yeah.
just want to do to try to help these guys out because
Yeah. Yeah.
we all had people helping us out last year, and we're kind
Yes.
of down a major guy that was helping everybody out last year that's not helping out this year. I'll just say it, because last year people could go on Uncle Tony because Uncle Tony was going to show up and he would shout people out, and that was a really good way to
Right.
get subs, because he's got a really
Right.
broad audience.
Right.
But you know, for his own reasons, and I'm not downing him in any way, but he's not wanting to come out, so we need to try to get, like, I want to see if I want to try to get him on one of these too. Is like if I get Just Mopar Joe to throw it up on his screen,
That would
come
be
on here
fun.
for even a half hour, and just throw it up on his channel for half an hour. There'd be we'd reach a lot more people.
Yes.
I get Jed to come on here and throw it up on his channel for a while.
Yep.
Get some of these bigger channels, because I'm not a very big channel, but I really want to do whatever I can to help. So that
Yeah, and
means
like Turbo
I'll get
Tom, we got to get Tom. We got to get Tom to
yes,
500. He's
yes,
371.
yes.
He'll get there. We just got to get him now. That's a weight lifted off your shoulders once it's done. But last year, this year I've been working on 5,000 different cars at different shops. Like my time with YouTube has been extremely limited, and I'm finally done with this. I'm taking a vacation, getting away from everything for like 10 days. Come back and I'll be able to actually get back more into it and have a lot of fun with it.
Well, you're one of the big no-name national success stories. You started out with zero.
Yeah,
Yeah, I started out with like 300. You started out with zero, and you got there before I did, didn't you? I'm pretty sure you
yeah, I
beat
did,
me.
but but
You have, and I said it when I first saw you, and hearing your voice, you have the voice and the presence for it. Me, not necessarily for YouTube, but
yes,
you got it. I was like,
I'm gonna.
when I first saw you, you can ask people. I was like, he's gonna have a big ass fucking channel.
And my thing is, I need to figure out some of the editing stuff and add more like audio in. I've got a friend that's really good with that stuff, so I think we're gonna do that. I know after No Name Nationals, um,
You know what?
there's gonna be
Honestly,
something big coming up with
if
what
I
I'm
had
doing.
if it's something that I have seen, but I haven't tried it, but have you watched Have you watched Dead Dodge Garage?
Yes.
You know how he does the voiceover stuff?
Yes.
And then there's another one. There's another one that totally has nothing to do with us, but it's Old Man's Garage
Yeah, he's
with
pretty good.
Street Race Channel. He does the
Yes.
voiceover stuff, and I love those videos. If you would do that voiceover, I think that that would really shoot you. I mean, I think it would really help.
I think so. And like
That's just me.
reading up on
Yeah,
it, I guess I didn't realize this,
I
but
don't know
like
how hard it is to do, but
it is. And like YouTube listens. So if I'm just playing a lot of music, it's not really picking crap up, but I'll figure it out. I'll
yeah.
figure
Well,
it out.
that's what I said. It's like you sit there. I know that the guy from Old Man's Garage does it all on his phone. Everything,
Yes.
all his videos are on his phone, and he'll sit there and he has basically a little, I guess, a little script that he reads off of, or he just watches a video and talks along with it while he's editing it. He do it with the voiceover stuff, and it seems to do real good. He does all that in while he's editing.
I
But
that's kind of
yeah,
what I was thinking about doing, and because I do everything on my phone, and I with my editing software, I haven't figured it out. But I think
yeah,
I did figure something out where if I just record my voice and I can convert it to a file and put it in. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. I'm gonna figure that out. It's just hard to figure out. Then there's the time factor and all that, and
yeah.
it's gonna be neat. I tell you what though, I did like your video on that truck. That is a
I
cool
had a
cool
lot of
truck.
fun with it, and I think I'm actually going to start. I had a lot. The second video that actually didn't do as good. I kind of don't care because I do this for fun anyway, and I had a lot of fun filming that video.
Yeah, you could tell.
You
You could
know,
tell.
and I think I'm going to start doing more of that, more of just hey, just not really trying to be funny, but I have shit come into my head, and I just I'll just start saying what comes into my head as long as it won't get me kicked off of YouTube.
Oh, I know. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. You know what's fun about that though is if you're just gonna have fun with the video. Some of my better videos I've made, I wasn't under pressure to work on a car or do anything. Like the favorite video I made recently was my daughter's reaction video to her first ride in the car.
Oh, I love that video. That was a good video. I like that.
That was just fun going out and dicking around. But yeah, I mean she had a blast and all that.
Oh
And,
yeah.
her boyfriend really likes the car, and but yeah, once No Name Nationals is done, like I'm gonna be doing something really fun. I talked to you on the phone about it earlier today of like kind of like my plans, and I just can't wait to finalize some stuff with my machinist and get it going, and it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
I want to see you do some Mopar stuff because you've got a big Mopar history on
I know, I do, and it's like I've talked to you about it a lot, and we talked about it a lot today. And it's like, man, there's cars that I've wanted that are unique that are just either out of my price range or it just didn't work out and all that. And if it's going to be a Mopar, it has to be something very unique, and I'm going to be very picky about it. Like I'm serious, the backwoods guy's car, I want that really really bad. Like that's right up my alley on that one.
Well,
Um,
I'm not speaking for him, but they're also into. He seems to me he's taking offers on trades too,
oh, I know.
trades with So I don't know what you would have that you'd want to sweeten the deal with, but
Oh, I can think
we
of
were
something sitting
talking about
behind me.
something. We were talking about something, and I don't know if you. I don't. Like I said, I'm not sure what time you were doing all that stuff. Have you seen many of those? It was a. It was either a direct connection or even farther back, maybe even a hustle stuff. Hood mounted tack that they sold. That was like the Pontiac ones.
Yes,
Um, I'm gonna be looking for one of those, but I know it's gonna be hard to find.
I think there's repop ones out now.
I'm looking.
Uh,
I'm actually looking. I think Classic Industries repops the same style, but it doesn't have the logo in it.
Really,
But yeah, but that's just a vinyl sticker away nowadays. So
it is, and those were cool. Um, I know you can't see them very well, but it's still freaking cool shit.
yeah, well, I'm thinking, we were talking about me doing my satellite earlier. I
Yes.
was talking with Ryan about that, and I was like, I want to do basically like all the cool stuff that the Roadrunners and the GTX and satellite, all the cool stuff you could do with that body style
Yeah.
factory. I'm just going to throw whatever I like on it because I'm not trying to make a clone of anything. And then I want
Just
to do
having
just
fun.
I want to do just like a ton of day two stuff to it too, and then make it a
Yep.
driver where I could get in it and drive out to California if I want to.
And that's the whole thing. Is like, if I do another street car, it's going to be something I can drive anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah,
This car's fun. I can drive it, but um, I'm telling you what, it is not a street car.
yeah. Well, I've kind of I've got my race car now, or it's not done, but I've got the Duster's going to be my race car. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that truck yet. There's tall garage. I'm not sure what I
that
want to
that
do with
truck
that
is cool
truck.
though. That truck is just cool.
I was almost thinking maybe what if like after because it's gonna it right now I'm just gonna get it running and driving. After I'm done with the Duster, you're not gonna see any other videos on that until the Duster is ready to go to no name.
Yes.
But I for now, I think I'm gonna get it together, get it running, driving safe, not worry about what the outside looks, and it'll serve as a tow vehicle for right now.
Yeah, but that outside of that truck really doesn't even look that bad. I mean,
You
it's got
in the
cool factor.
videos it doesn't look that bad, but man, it's got a lot of rust. But
It's
still, I really don't care. I kind
I
of like
like
it.
it. I like it because I've got an '82. Well, it's my son's an '82 Ram Prospector long bed 2-wheel drive. It's about the same, and it's cool
Yeah,
as shit. And can't wait to start working on that. I would be working on it, but I don't have a lot of space to be doing stuff.
I'm running
And
out of space. The main reason I wanted to get that truck running is just so I could pull it in and out of my shop because I don't want to leave it outside all the time. But
oh,
now
I get
I could pull it in and out of the shop, so it's fine the way it is. But maybe after that, after I get another, tow vehicle or something, I
yes,
was thinking maybe like a drag and drive vehicle, like a drag and drive street race kind of thing. I think that might be fun with that truck. Make it
yep.
to where I could still get in it and drive around, but also kind of do just like they do with the drag and drive cars.
I tell you what's pretty. That's kind of like what I would love to build as a drag and drive car. It would be so much fun. I don't know if you talk. There's a guy Shop 209, John Gilman. He's got some ratty, awesome Novas, and he does a lot of the drag and drive events now. And I was talking to him today, and I'm telling you, I mean, it looks just so much fun. And he lives Pennsylvania, and he does the Rocky Mountain Race Week and hits all the circuits. And it doesn't, like he said, he doesn't matter if he wins or loses. You're just having a blast with that, and it looks like a lot of fun. That would be cool to pack a bunch of people into a car and just cruise and hit the drag strips and
Well, that's like
knock
what
on wood, not break anything.
the whole series that Blake and Ricky did.
Yes,
That
that
looked
was
like
awesome.
that was a blast just driving from one to the other and
Yep.
seeing all the sights and everything and then getting the race on top of that. But he was saying that one 11 seconds was their slow class. It was like, damn.
Yeah, yeah. That's the crazy part, and like for to me, and we've talked about this many a times. I really like match racing of the '60s.
Yeah.
And if you watch the match racing of the '60s, like we talked about dry hops, just the showmanship, the best of three shit, and they're out there just putting on a show. Who gives a crap about the times they were running? Bring that stuff back. Book those events where you got so many people coming to see all these match race people. Like, hey, John Cope's on here. I would give my left nut to go match race him at Morocco, for an
Yeah.
evening. You know,
There's Big
it would be
Richard. Ain't seen him in a while.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, And I think somebody is going to do that sooner or later. They're going to start
Yes.
seeing all of that, and maybe not me. I don't see myself being a big channel
Yes.
because I'm not really trying. I'm doing this to have fun, you know.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like that's like with these interview things. I only really want to talk to people I want to talk to, you know.
Right.
You
Oh, I
know,
get it.
and
I get it. It's a lot of fun doing that.
but I mean, I think one of these some of these tracks might be missing out because there's some channels that could bring some people.
Yeah.
You know what? It kind of reminds me of like a bar band.
Yeah.
You know, the I know I messed around with all these bands, local bands, and that's what the owners would do is they would be like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm hiring this bar band. They're going to tell everybody that they're going to be here, and they have a good night. They pay the band a little bit of money, and everybody has fun. They make money. The band makes a little bit of money. I think that they could do that with match racing YouTube guys.
Yeah.
It'd be like you could call up John Cope and Patrick, most of the old parts.
Yeah.
Then and schedule it for a few months down the line, and they start doing videos and mentioning it in their videos, saying, "Hey, remember, I'm going to be here in 2 months. Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, we're going to be here," and you would bring people.
It would be cool. I was at a nostalgia event, and it was. I want to say they were all gassers, but it was like a match race, and it was like a bracket match race, if you want to call it. Like you and I match race, the winner goes on to the next person, and on and on and on. It was actually
Yeah, I
really
don't
really
really know if
cool,
I'd want to do
really really
something like
cool.
that. I'd like to see like the best two out of three, and
I love that. The best 2 out of 3 stuff is really fun, and a lot of those
yeah,
tracks back in the day it was kind of funny. They would book a big name to match race somebody best of 3 to get to the hometown hero. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Good money.
even
Really
stuff
good
like
money.
that. Yeah.
That would be a blast.
Oh, well, that's like that.
Backwoods Performance is in here. I'm gonna
Oh yeah,
race him, and I don't care win, lose or draw. I want to
you just
race that guy because
you
that
know
is
what?
legitimately like my favorite car on YouTube.
You just race him for pinks, and there you
Yeah,
go. You could end up with the
yeah.
car.
That's when I would explode something. But yeah, and I did know some stuff about that car before he had gotten a hold of it, and it's like, man, that car just screams should be in my garage. I'm just saying that.
Well, did you talk to him at Indy
I
at
probably
all?
did, but I wouldn't remember.
Yeah, because they were at Indy this year. I know you were. You go every
Yeah,
year.
yep.
Oh,
It's
you
a
went
cool
to
car.
you went to PRI last year, didn't you?
And I went to PRI. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
Me and John Wilburn, my friend
I'm
Micah
going.
went.
I'm going this year.
We had Dallas and Shane, and it was a really good time.
So
Really
what
good
did you
time.
have to do? Did you just have to join PRI their
So
little
you can actually go do it now, Brian. You can go to PRI and sign up under media, and I think it's $40, and they send you everything. And I mean, you just walk right in, show them your pass, and I mean, it's a
Yeah, I'm
really
gonna
good
do that.
time. Really good
I'm
time.
gonna do that because
Oh,
I've always wanted to go to PRI. There's a lot of YouTube guys that go there, and I know. Well, I'm still kind of a. Well, it's just kind of like I was saying when we even going on with the match racing.
yes,
People don't go. The only reason people are going to these NHRA events is for the top fuel cars, and they don't care how fast they're going. They're there to hear it and feel it. I guarantee you could blindfold those people, and they would still
yeah,
go. You
yep,
know,
yep.
but that's the problem. They don't know. They don't care who wins. They don't know any of the drivers.
Well, that's just it. And a lot of stuff that I go to, because I have been to hundreds and hundreds of drag races, pros. But when I was really heavily involved in the vintage drag racing stuff from I'd say 2000 ish, 2001 to 2015. Hello, Mr. Wilburn. He's in the chat now.
Yeah.
I was all over the East Coast, South, North. I was pretty much everything east of the Mississippi. And it didn't matter where I was at, I would be right on the track, in between the lanes when the vintage funny cars were doing all that stuff. And that was the best. I don't want to pay $500 to go sit nosebleed, not get close. I like the really in your face personal stuff
Oh
just to have
yeah.
fun.
Oh well, did you see that that video I did? I actually shot that video for Twisted Mopar where he
Yes.
was racing. That was down at Benton, and where I was standing, where my camera was, there was a crowd of people around me. You are right there at some of these little tracks,
Yes. Yes.
just about
Yeah.
all of
And
them.
I tell you what though, I learned my lesson with jet cars at Cordova one year. I'll just put it that way.
That's a
That
track
was
I want to go to is Cordova. I
Oh,
really
I used
want
to
to.
go there all the time, all the time. World Series drag racing it needs to be. It doesn't matter who you are. It needs to be on everyone's bucket list. It's absolutely fun. They used to have what was called Nitro Blast. They've changed it. Union Grove has a big nostalgia event. And Union Grove is a massively old track, and it is really cool. It was ran by a guy named Broadway Bob, and he was absolutely insane. But that's a cool track. We used to hit a lot of the nostalgia tracks. There's a small track we would go to in Pennsylvania called Beaver Springs. That was
Mhm.
neat. That was a really neat place.
I know Cordova. They do the AMC. Their big
Yes.
AMC show is up there in Cordova. I knew a couple of AMC guys.
I see Jay's in the chat. Said Union Grove is awesome. Yeah, he would know that. He's not too far from that at all, and that is such a really cool place.
You were talking about you were when we were talking about Mr. Norm earlier on the phone. You said something
Yeah,
about him wanting to be a Pontiac dealer.
yeah,
Imagine if you'd have picked up AMC.
yeah. That would have been
That would have been some
interesting.
cool shit.
Yeah, that would have
Because
been
I
that would have
like
been
some of the old
interesting.
AMCs.
Yeah, I did. Well, I had two AMXs. I had a '68 390 Go Pack car. It was originally 18,000 mile car, and then I had a '69 AMX super stock car, vintage build in the mid '70s. I shouldn't have gotten rid of them, neither one of them, but I did, unfortunately. But that's what happens. Um, that's what happens when you got kids that are young.
Is Jerry Mullins? That's a if that's the same guy. That's a name from my past. Um, there's a oh man, that just totally threw me off. Well, I lost my train of thought there. Um, I don't know. Say something. I totally lost my train of thought where I was going.
But yeah, I mean, I was entrenched in that pretty heavy, Brian. Every weekend I was somewhere, on top of working
Yeah,
my normal job. And luckily, with my normal job, my boss was cool because a lot of the work I did was solo. So I would work like 313s just so I could be gone 4 or 5 days.
and
And,
now that was with Norm, right?
that was with Norm. That was with Norm probably 12 of those years. And then the last 2 or 3, I was doing a lot of stuff with some other people. I would actually help Arnie Beswick out quite a bit. Him and a guy named Chad Starbuck. They did a lot of work for him. Arnie was a cool guy. I got to go to his farm a few times, check out his collection of stuff, which was absolutely neat. And it was a lot of fun. One person I did get to know pretty well, doing a lot of events with, and spent a lot of time with her with charity stuff, was Diane Socks, which was Ronnie's
Mm.
wife, and she was very nice. She was cool. I had a lot of fun doing that. Just it was a blast. Like every weekend was just something new. You got to meet new people, hear all the behind the scenes stories, which are absolutely. If they could all write a book together, it'd be just crazy.
I could
Um,
just imagine. Can you
I would
imagine
love to
back
do
in
that.
the days doing just? I mean, even back before when you did it, when Jungle Jim and
Oh man, that would have been fun. That would have been
yeah,
a fun time. I tell you, the one memorable moment that I did have I used the first 2 years of McCacken when it was muscle car related, just not Corvette. I worked, and it was really, 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 really fun. And after the setup night, we got everything set up because where we were at, it was Norm. Right behind us was Arnie, and then right on the corner was Linda Vaughn. So there, that was fun. And then like afterwards, the four of us actually went out to dinner at this like barbecue steak place. It was actually really good. So we had an absolute fun. It was like I remember like calling my dad because he was teenager in the 60s living that up, and I'm like, hey, I
Yeah.
guess who I just had dinner with? And he's like, are you kidding me? It's
I
like,
bet he was
no.
jealous.
It was fun. I had so much fun doing that. But my daughter was born in 2005, so she was starting to get older. My son was born in 2008. He was starting to get, and it was like, man, I was just away from home way too much. So
Oh yeah, I could see that. I could see that as a problem. Yeah.
what I
I
ended up
mean,
doing was, yeah,
I know a lot of people that say, yeah, we gave up drag racing when I started having kids, but then I see other people who are like, nah, I just just did it on the weekends, kept doing my car stuff, and doing what I could. And I don't know. My
yes,
kids are all basically grown, so I don't have to worry about that.
yes. I couldn't afford it, to be honest with you, at the time. I couldn't afford
Yeah,
doing both.
well, shit, I can't afford it now, but
Yeah. And you know what was an eye opener for me? I'm a Mopar guy, but the when I started branching away, and if there's any Mopar people on here, sorry, but I really started paying attention to everything else. Hubert Platt, Ford racer, wild man, absolute crazy guy, and what he did for Ford was insane, and he was wild. And you look at the whole Ford drag team. Um, and Mercury too. Like there was Dino Don Nicholson, there was the Airlift Rattler Cougar, which I can't remember his name, but they had all these great guys. Then you went on the Chevy camp side and you looked at the performance dealerships. With Nicky Chevrolet in Chicago, and then they picked up Dick Harrell, and all that type of stuff. Motion, with their L88 stuff programs that they were putting together. I was really getting heavily involved in that, and Ace Wilson, Bobcat, Royal Bobcat, Pontiac, and started doing that and reading all the books. And I'll be honest with you, like I would travel to these places, even if the buildings were still there, just check it out or find people
yeah.
that worked there. And that's when I really needed YouTube.
Hmm.
It was absolutely a blast. Like going to the old US 30 drag strip, it's still there, and the AHRA logo is still painted there in blue. Just traveling to all these different places, and then you get to meet these people, and some of the engineering behind it was amazing. I got to meet, oh man, it was the Malco Gasser. It was a Mustang twin turbo Ohio George Montgomery,
Hmm.
and it was a car that could be ran gas class or something else with literally very minor modifications done to doing whatever chassis. And it was I want to say the first engine was a 427 cam or twin turbo. Then I think it went to a Boss 429. Absolutely insane. And in the Mopar world, I knew a lot of people, obviously. And some of the cool stuff you got to see with that, and really start looking at all the eclectically wild stuff, like East Coast, West Coast. There was a dealer, Charlie Allen, had a Dodge Dart funny car. I'm trying to think of the name, Saddleback Dodge, and I believe it was Los Angeles. And there's an article in, I want to say 1969 Hot Rod magazine, and Norm and him were getting together, and the M Code Dart was out, and they were kind of
Hmm.
trying to collaborate, and they tested one, and it was a 6-pack M Code car, and they were going to develop this thing, and it kind of fell apart. I'm not going to say why, but it absolutely fell apart. But can you imagine
That's
that?
what I was kind of wondering. Was Norm the only one really doing this at
No,
the
because there was
time,
White Bear.
or
No, he had the market cornered, but there was Saddleback Dodge. There was White Bear Dodge in Minnesota. There was a Dodge dealership in New York. I'm trying to think of the name. Um, oh man, I'm trying to think. There was a Dodge dealership on the West Coast that was actually buying the cars from Norm to sell. And in '72, he was selling blown demons, but I don't remember the name. Rockton, maybe it was Rockton Dodge, maybe. But there was
So was
quite a
he was,
few.
was he like getting orders and shipping cars out to
Oh yeah,
places? Like,
he would ship cars out
oh
all over
man,
the place. He would fly people in to drive them home. Um, like WLS Chicago radio had like this megawatt AM broadcasting capabilities on a clear night. People heard it in LA. People heard it
wow,
everywhere. So they would hear these, they would read it, and he started knowing that, and he was smart. I'll fly anywhere to buy this car, and he
oh
did
yeah,
that. He did that quite a bit. Dr. Art's in the house, but he did that quite a bit, and he was always two steps ahead of everybody else. So when everyone else caught up to the game of dyno tuning or sponsoring a funny car or whatever, he was on to
he was
something
already
else.
doing it and already doing something different.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
And like, so I actually, the guy that now I can think of it was Mercury, because Mercury actually had the very first flip top funny car. It was 1966. It wasn't Ford, it wasn't Mopar, it was a Mercury. And it was, whatever the Mercury version of the like Fairlane was. And I know Dino Don got one, but Eddie Sharpman got one, and Pete Gates got one. It was called Gate Job. And they were 427 Cammer nitro injected Ford engines. But they screwed up because the body dimensions were factory body dimensions. The driver still sat on the left side, even though it was like a Logie style stamping chassis. They were hard as hell um, to drive, and they were very erratic. But it changed the mindset because now you have these flip top floppers that are lightweight. But the thing is, you still had Norm 65 AFX match race car blown on fuel, Arnie Beswick's blown on fuel car. All these guys that still have the blown on fuel cars just beating the piss out of these guys. Well, they figured the Fords out, and they figured the Mercuries out, and they started supercharging them, figured out the chassis, and all of a sudden they started winning. Well, that's when in '66 they started building flip top funny cars, different weird tube chassis, and they were garbage. Norm had a '66 Charger. It was a nightmare. A lot of guys did, but in by the way, like '67, sorry, but in '68 is when like the Logie stuff and the mini Chargers started coming out, and I want to say the mini Charger was a result of a really bad accident um, due to some really crappy things. But '68 was the really I talked to Norm about this many times, and Arnie. They argued a lot about it, but like '68 was like the pinnacle year of funny car racing really changing. I mean, they were still running a lot of automatic transmissions, and then '69 really started picking up. By '70, '71, there was aftermarket Hemi blocks, better technology with slider clutches, better like Pellegrini chassis, the Romeo Palomidas. Really, a lot of those were out of Chicago too, which is crazy. But they
yeah.
really started up in the game on it. But by '73, he was kind of out of the performance business per se, but he was still sponsoring a lot of that stuff.
Well, what happened to that funny car body you used to have sitting where
I
the
still have
wagon?
it. I still have it.
Okay.
In fact,
You get,
yeah, that's going to be something long term. In
yeah.
fact, my friend that him and I found it. He's got one of Don Schumacher's '72 Stardust funny cars. It's the chassis and one of the bodies that's kind of jacked up,
Yeah.
and we can't mate them. We've already measured stuff because that was the whole idea, and it's not the same wheelbase.
Well, you were just going to make like a cackle car out of that, though, right?
Right, but this body's like it's rough. So the whole plan is I think what's going to happen is we're going to reinforce the fiberglass, smooth it, paint it, make it wrapped or decals or whatever, and it's going to be a nice ceiling hanger in a shop.
Oh, okay. Well, that'd be cool.
But I could talk for hours on the vintage drag racing stuff.
Yeah.
I really could.
That's something you need to look into, getting you a bigger shop.
Yeah, if I
I
had a
need to
shop,
get
man,
you a bigger shop.
that would be amazing. But there was if you I know if you look at the performance stuff that Dodge put out, I mean, it was light years, in my opinion. I know anybody out there that's probably gonna disagree, but whatever. But like they were really in my opinion, out of the big three, the performance oriented group.
Well, yeah, and then they did it again here recently.
Right.
The last what, 10, 15 years,
Yes.
and nobody
Yes.
was able to touch them this time either. Even
No,
though,
and
did
that's the
you see
thing.
that? Did you see that? Um, I know we're going a little bit long here, but did you see Uncle Tony and Steve Mignonte's interview? Their
Yes,
little
I
live
did.
that they did when Steve was talking about how Dodge is not getting rid of the Hemi.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yes. See, the thing is, there was the whole thing about the EV crap, and I'm not gonna lie, and I don't care if I offend anybody. I don't fucking like EV cars. They are a joke. They're whatever. But like, there was that big push. Everyone's got to like toe the line, virtue signal this crap, and now it's
Yeah,
just not working out, and people are kind of parting their
they're
ways,
realizing they're
right?
realizing
They're like,
bullshit.
oh, we said we were going to do this, but hey, look over here, squirrel, and now they're moving away for it. Thank God.
Well, that's
Like,
I kind of think that Dodge kind of, because they were talking about we're no more Hemis, but now they're kind of backpedaling on that. Like, oh, we'll keep the 5.7 around,
yeah,
but they're
why
going to be,
not?
from
You
what he
know,
said. From what he said, they're going to be getting rid of the Challenger, and they're going to offer the Charger in a 2-door or a 4-door,
yeah.
which I think is cool as shit.
You would be cool if they really wanted to be like different. Bring back a real dart, not the Fiat dart. Bring back a real dart, something like a 68 body style dart, and like what they did with the Challenger. Make it smaller, lightweight. Put in a very efficient 5.7, and have a whole lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
They could easily do that. They could easily do that. But you got all these freaking idiots that are like, oh my God, it's got a V8. It's got 500 horsepower. Oh, it's bad for the environment. It's like, go fuck yourself.
Well,
Like,
even
no.
if they brought back the Dart and put that damn twin turbo straight six they're talking about, that's supposed to be a
That
bad motor.
Hurricane engine? Yeah.
If
Yeah.
that motor's so bad, okay, put it in a little bitty car.
Yes.
And show everybody. And they might, you never know, they might do that with that engine. They might be like, okay, yeah, you can still get your V8s, but we got this fucking straight six that's gonna, and look
I
what
mean, that would
happens
be
when you
that
put
would
it in
be
a
so
little car.
much. That would be so much fun. That'd be absolutely so much fun.
I was just happy to hear that the Hemi's not going away, even though you get a lot of people arguing, "Oh, that's not a real Hemi." Okay, it's what we got now and what we can really get our hands on. So, and they are
Well,
cool.
look at Chevrolet. They're like, oh, we're getting rid of the Camaro, and then boom, they come
Yeah,
out with the 632 cubic inch Copo version. It's like, oh, okay.
yeah. All right. Well, here I've got a couple. I've got a thing. I know it's we're like 5 minutes
Yeah,
over the hour, but
I really appreciate you having me on, Brian.
oh yeah. Well, here I've got a. It's what I did last time with Shane. I've got one kind of little discussion question and then some rapid
Yeah.
fire questions. All
Okay.
right. I'm going to give you the same question I gave Shane. When is a car no longer a street car?
When you can't use it for you can't when you can't use it for what you would normally use a daily driver for, except minus winter because we live in Illinois.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Winter. There's a lot of
Just
cars that
go
are.
anywhere you want, do anything you want.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. Rapid fire questions. Small block or big block?
Big block,
Quarter mile or eighth mile?
eighth mile,
Um, prep or no prep?
prep,
And NA or power adder?
NA.
Okay. Yeah. If you wanted to elaborate on any of those, you can.
Yep.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Or,
I like prep racing. One of it is, in my opinion, might make me sound like an old fuddy duddy, but it's safe. It's in my opinion, it's safer. I run
yeah.
small tire. I like big blocks. 2 years ago, small block all the way. 340, my favorite small block of all time. But big block power is a whole lot of fun. And running small tire, you need a good prep track. I like eighth mile because that last 660 feet is just wear and tear hanging on. That's my
Well,
opinion. It's like that 660 is like it's driver, it's getting that whole shot, it's getting that traction. To answer Mark's question, Jack Pine Savage or Rowdy, both. Muscle car Mark, Ginger or Marianne. I'm gonna have to go with Marianne on that one.
I don't know. I'm a ginger guy.
But naturally aspirated, it's to me it's just it's uh, a lot easier to install. It's a lot easier to tune. It's cheaper. Um, William says A body or B body. A body. Greg McDonald says Mrs. Howell. LOL. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, she is rich
I'm
and
getting,
she was
I'm
old.
getting, you know what? I'm getting old enough where Mrs. Howe's starting to look good.
But to Will A body. My favorite year for all cars is 68. My favorite Mopar would be a 68 Hemi Dart or a 68 440 Hearst Campbell built GSS Dart. I think 48 were made, two in silver. I want the silver one. One is known to exist. Sold at Grant Spalding only. I want one bad. My favorite B body, however, is a 69 and a half A12 Super B.
Oh, that's another one I got to come up with. Jerry there says 69 Roadrunner or Charger. I
Oh,
say
so
Roadrunner.
I'm saying I'm gonna have to go Charger on that just because I was a kid with Dukes of Hazzard and I absolutely love the
Yeah,
generally.
here we
So
go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. This is everybody's asking that. That kind of gets onto this question because you're a Mopar guy.
yeah,
Plymouth or Dodge?
Dodge,
See, I'm a Plymouth guy.
Dodge.
I'm
Nothing
Plymouth
against
all the
Plymouths.
way.
Nothing against Plymouths at all. Yeah, it's good to see you have realistic goals. Yeah. Um, Dodge. There was there's nothing wrong with the Plymouths at all. I absolutely loved them all. But
I just
Dodge.
always thought because it's like if you look at Chevy and Pontiac, I would be Pontiac over Chevy because I think they had a little more in the style department,
Yeah.
and I think Plymouth had a little more in the style department.
Now
That's
I
just
agree.
my thinking.
Pontiac was very stylish.
Yeah,
I do agree on that. But actually, believe it or not, Mopar guy, one of my favorite cars is a Chrysler, and it's the 300 Hearst edition. That's a cool car.
I want one. I want so much shit, but now actually my son is actually starting to show a little bit of interest.
See,
It's
that's
like I
good.
want to find him. I want to find him like a Murata.
Yes.
'Cause he saw the front seat in those cars where they made them almost like a couch. He's like, "Oh, I want that." I'm like, "Yeah, I always wanted one of those." That and the
Yes.
other day we drove by, there was a C3 Corvette parked in somebody's backyard. And you know how when you drive through a neighborhood all the time and you see a new car in somebody's backyard,
Right.
you got to swing through. He's like, "Oh, I always like those cars." I was like, "Cool, we're building one because I always want to build a C3 Corvette." But at my age, it's a hell. It's hell climbing in and out of them. But
Yes.
He's younger. I'm like, screw it. Okay, I'll build you one.
Um,
All right.
there's not one. I got a question for you then, since you like
Okay.
you like the Plymouths. Let's see here. A Plymouth Superbird or a Plymouth like 71 Hemi Roadrunner Satellite.
I'd
Which
rather
do you?
have the Hemi Roadrunner satellite all day
Okay.
long.
Yeah.
Now, have you? I know you've seen the pictures of them. They made. I guess they were either concept cars or they were gonna put them out in '71, where
The
they
wing
had.
cars.
Yeah, they had a. I've seen a '71 Superbird and a '71 Daytona. That
I've seen them
'71
at
Daytona.
yeah.
That '71 Daytona looks a lot better than the '71 Superbird. I
I
will
saw
say
them at
that.
Carlisle one year, and they were actually really neat. Well, I think one of them had a twin wing on it. I saw them both. They're actually really, really cool. Really cool. If that was, Oh, here we go. Here's an engine question for you.
Okay.
A I think it was a 383. Okay, no wait. Time out. Time out. Let me backtrack this.
Okay.
Engines that a Chrysler engine that they developed but never made it. Do you think they should have continued with it? The ball stud Hemi, the A249 ball stud Hemi.
No, but you know what? I
Yeah,
think they should. I think they should have actually continued on. And I don't know if it was a myth, but I've read about it when I was a kid. Was the dual overhead cam Hemi?
yeah, that would have been neat.
From what I understand, they made one or two,
I
I
wish
think.
they would have made a. I wish they would have made a cross flow slant six, but my unicorn Chrysler engine, I do want a 265 Hemi six from Australia, the inline six with the 3.2
I
barrel
wonder what it
Webers
would
on it.
cost. I wonder what it would cost to get one shipped
So
over. I mean,
there's
are
a
they rare?
channel
Rare? Are
over
they
there.
rare?
You
Rare?
they're getting rare. I know a guy over in Australia. He's got a channel called Automotive Carnage, and he's a super nice guy. I talk to him all the time, and he's in the scrap and junkyard business, kinds of cool like ratty builds and just fun race stuff. And he's
Yeah.
keeping an eye out for me, even if it's just the 265 Hemi itself, but you can get through Clifford Performance all the stuff. It's just a lot of money. But I would love to find like a 65 Dart at some point and build a hot 265 Hemi six because that would
Well,
just be so unique.
they pay to have our stuff shipped over there. You should be able to pay to have I mean, but what would you do? I mean, it just depends on what you do with it. I know a
Yes,
lot of people would like to see one. I know people were asking Uncle Tony about one forever, and he's like,
yes,
"No, it costs too much to have it shipped over here."
that's the whole thing. And during the good old Rona, they couldn't even ship stuff out, which
Hmm.
obviously doesn't make sense. But yeah, I want one of
Oh, I
those
can go
bad.
on about that, but I won't.
Yeah.
What I will do is this right here because I got to do this every time. Okay. Did you see what that said?
No. What did it
Did you see
say?
that? It says Steve Vignante thinks my car is cool.
Oh yes, yes. He
That
does
is
think. I remember that.
oh,
He does think your car
I
is cool.
really wanted to when I was actually on a break at the end of that live. I really wanted to be like uh on Uncle Tony's when he was there. I really wanted to
Yeah.
be like, hey, do you still think my car is cool? But it was like, no.
Yeah. Well, you got. He's a big model car guy, and I was too. I used to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, and I mean, he is really big into some of that, like those '60s models. They reproduce them now. They were all about the variant stuff, and I mean, it's actually really cool in my opinion. And
My
you know,
buddy,
you,
my one good friend I've had since we've been friends forever. He customizes Hot Wheels, and
yes.
he's actually making a Hot Wheel of my car.
Oh, very cool. Now that is
Yeah.
very cool. That is very, very cool.
All right. I think we're going to jump off here. I'm going to end this live
Okay.
and then give me about 10 or 15 minutes and I'm going to fire up the weird hour. Everybody's welcome to come back. Just keep an eye out for it. And thanks a lot, Jeff, for coming out. I
Thank you,
really
Brian.
appreciate it. And well, hey, who do you think I should get with to be on my next one? Who do you want to see on here? Who do you want to see me talk
I
to?
I tell you, he'd be a good one to get on here. There's a couple names that come to mind. One of them is the new a new guy, just to help him get over that hump. Turbo Tom. He's very knowledgeable on
Yeah.
Chrysler stuff. Patrick, have him talk about that Dick Landy Duster that he needs to
Yeah,
be like out just tearing up.
I may have to get
John
with
Cope's
Patrick.
always a good one. I mean, there's a ton of them out there.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna reach out to Patrick. Patrick, if you're in here, I don't know if you have my number or not, but we'll get all that worked out. I'm going to talk to you about coming on. If not, I would love to have John Cope on here. I would love to have
Yep.
John Cope on here and actually not talk about transmissions, just talk about
Another good one.
Mahaney and all that.
Another good one
Who's
would
that?
be Mark Bigfoot's and Mopar because he's got that
Yeah, but he
Belvedere that's
works
probably
so
gonna.
much. He
I
works
know,
every Saturday. It seems like.
I know.
But yeah, oh gee. Well, now at No Name, I am wanting to set up a live at No Name with just a table. So like when things
Yeah.
are starting to wind down, I'll fire up the live, and anybody walking around who just wants to come and sit down and BS for a little while on the live, I'm gonna have like microphones set up, and if I get my internet working out there this year, I'm really wanting to do that and
Yeah.
just do a
That'd be
live
fun.
like Friday night, and just
Yeah.
have
That would
people
be a
sit
lot
and
of
just
fun.
hang out.
That would be a
All
lot of
right,
fun.
well, I'm gonna end this. Like I said, thanks for coming out, everybody.
Thanks,
Thanks for
Brian.
hanging out with us.
Appreciate it,
And
buddy.
if you want to, Jeff, if you want to come back in a little bit, then I'm going to go on with the weird hour and be letting people in and just having a
I
good
will.
time.
Hey, when you
All right.
before you go weird hour, shoot me a text because I'm gonna go talk to my son for a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Sweet.
We'll see
Thanks,
y'all
Brian.
later.